Headline. Our focus is on the rain and the response. You say this I see that. I mean, for where? You have the freedom to move. Yes, it's a wet day in the city of Lagos. Today is the Salah Day, the Salah Day celebrations. As you can see, the rains are heavy, 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 and it's affecting movement. Where we are currently is flooded. It's flooded. The drainages are not in place. The structures are not in place, and there's flood everywhere. People are tempted to walk through the water. I think this Salah celebration will be full of rains this morning. However, we are going to still continue with the program by Bystanders at the Newsstands. We have some of our analysts this morning. They are here to also talk about the newspaper headlines. Enjoy the view as we start the program in few minutes' time.
This animated.
Let me hold the umbrella. Yes, good morning. You're welcome to the program this morning by Bystanders at the Newsstands. I am Christian Chuku. Once again, welcome, welcome. Today is a day that the Muslim faithfuls are celebrating their Salah celebration. It's Salah Day, and it's raining. It's raining cats and dogs in the city of Lagos. As we have the rains, we will still continue the program. I have my committed analysts here this morning. They are here to do justice to the newspaper headlines. Let's start with the Tribune this morning. I have the Tribune, I have the Daily Trust, I have the Guardian, I have the Saturday Independent, I have the Saturday Punch, and I also have Sun and This Day. Let's start with the Sun newspaper this morning. Yes, Odumeje's adherents declare spiritual war on Soludo. Odumeje's adherents declare spiritual war on Soludo, says Anambra governor won't go unpunished for demolishing church building. Says the Anambra governor won't go unpunished for demolishing church building. Governor orders sanction on security personnel who assaulted cleric. The governor ordered sanction on security personnel who assaulted the cleric. APC was weekend yesterday meeting between some APC governors and also a chieftain of the PDP with Wike in his residence in River State. We had Fayoshe, we had Sonolu, we had Fayemi, we also had Akeredolu. Fayoshe leads Fayemi, Akeredolu, Sonolu to open discussion. Fayoshe leads Fayemi, Akeredolu, Sonolu to open discussion. PDP crisis deepens as more leaders move against IU. PDP crisis deepens as more leaders move against IU. APC VP slot, Boss Mustafa, Governor Lalong's men intensify lobby. APC VP slot, Boss Mustafa, Governor Lalong's men intensify lobby. Christian and Muslim leaders oppose Muslim ticket. Christian and Muslim leaders oppose Muslim ticket. Fear of terrorism rises in the north on the aftermath of Kuje prison attack. Fear of terrorists rises in the north on the aftermath of Kuje prison attack. Boko Haram has superior weapons, says federal government. Boko Haram has superior weapons, says the federal government. It is time for state police. That is from the Igbo and Yoruba leaders. It is time for state police from the Igbo and Yoruba leaders. Acquire weapons, supernatural powers, advises Amoteku leader. Acquire weapons and supernatural power. This is an advice from an Amoteku leader. Israel envoy meets Kalu, declares country readiness to assist Nigeria. Israel envoy meets Kalu, declares the country's readiness to assist Nigeria. Let's also go to the Tribune this morning. Boko Haram weapons better than government forces. That's the federal government revealing that Boko Haram weapons better than government forces. Names photos of 64 escaped terrorists released. Yes, FG tightening security at Muslim praying grounds. FG tightening security at Muslim praying grounds. Let's look at other stories. ISWAP intercept food meant for IDPs in Borno. Loot 4 trucks. ISWAP intercept food meant for IDPs in Borno State. Loot 4 trucks. Takes over roads. Waylays travelers. Terror group plans aid prayer in captured communities. Terror group plans aid prayer in captured community and enclaves. Correctional Service releases names and pictures of escapees. And heavy security deployment as Muslims celebrate Salah today. Yes, I won't rest until I make Nigeria better, Buhari. I won't rest until I make Nigeria better. Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised.
Okay, let's the Guardian, IGP orders tight security nationwide. IGP, the Inspector General of Police, orders tight security nationwide over the Edel Kabir. Shun violent extremist ideas, Buhari tells Muslims. Shun violent extremist ideas, Buhari tells Muslims. Governor Tinubu Saraki seek to end violence. Others. Governors Tinubu Saraki seek to end violence. Others. Taraba police deploy 3,500. Osun NSCDC 1,457 personnel. Yes, Taraba police deploy 3,500 policemen. Osun NSCDC deploy also 1,547 personnel. NCDC urges adherence to COVID-19 preventive measure. NCDC urges adherence to COVID-19 preventive measures. Boris Johnson's fall, a lesson for Nigerian politicians. Boris Johnson's fall, a lesson for Nigerian politicians. Let's look at the Daily Independent. Yes, and Nigerians, a bundle of contradictions, says Buhari as Muslims celebrate. Nigerians are a bundle of contradictions, says Buhari as Muslims celebrate. Edel Kabir, fuel scarcity hike in transport fare dampen festivity. For scarcity hike in transport fare dampen festivity. Dealers adherents link high cost of RAM to Ukraine war. Dealers adherents link high cost of RAM to Ukraine war. Insecurity, yes. Pilgrims are stranded at Abuja airport. Pilgrims stranded at Abuja airport. Kwankwaso from the Punch. Igbo still at the bottom of national politics. Igbo still at the bottom of national politics. Federal government declares fleeing Boko Haram suspects wanted. Releases photos. Yes, federal government declares fleeing Boko Haram suspect wanted. Release their photos. I won't probe past governors if elected, Obi. That is from the Punch. I won't probe past governors if elected, Obi. Peace Kaduna, ex-senator Papa Ahmed as running mate, yes. APC exploits PDP crisis, Atiku's absence, woos Wike. APC exploits PDP crisis and Atiku's absence by wooing Wike. The picture on the Punch, we have ex-VP in France after US Dubai trip, the ex-VP that is Atiku in France after he went to US and Dubai. Tinubu returns from France. Sonlu Fayemi Akeredolu beg Rivers governor to join ruling party. Sonlu Fayemi Akeredolu beg Rivers governor to join ruling party. We aren't threatened, says the PDP. We aren't threatened, says the PDP. Let's look at the Sun. Yes, we had the Sun the first time. Yes, once again, you're welcome to the program. Bystanders at the newsstands. You can see we are in a rainy day in the city of Lagos, celebrating Salah on this radio. Have Mr. Matthew.
Oh, what song? Great.
Let me help you. Just allow me. Yeah, Mr. Matthew, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Christian.
How do you look at the rain?
It is the will of God. There's nothing anybody can do.
Yeah, this day that people are celebrating Salah.
That is the way God wants it. There's nothing anybody can do about it. God is the one that controls the universe. According to the scripture, He sits in heaven, He rules supreme. So, by His wisdom, He has decided that rain should fall.
Okay, let's look at APC exploiting the absence of Atiku and PDP crisis in wooing Wike.
I think what is happening in Nigeria currently with respect to the recent visit of some APC governors to Rivers State. I think yesterday we saw news about the governors of Lagos State, the governor of Ondo State, Akeredolu, and the Fayemi, the governor of Ekiti State. They were in Rivers State to visit Wike. And the reason is not far-fetched. Because you can understand that going by the activities that has happened in PDP recently, that Wike is disillusioned. And as such, I think APC want to exploit that opportunity and see whether they can woo him to their party. But I can tell you that it is going to be very difficult, extremely difficult for Wike to lead PDP.
I watched the video. They were laughing and they were together. They were.
The reason I say it will be going to be extremely difficult for Wike to lead PDP is if this has happened before the primaries, it would have been easier. Because the way it stands, Wike have local policy to contend with in Rivers State when it comes to the general election. Don't forget that PDP already have all the elected positions. House of Assembly members who are PDP members and the allies of Wike, House of Rep members, senatorial positions, and even the governorship position. So, if you say Wike should defer to APC now, it's going to affect PDP in the general election in Rivers State because look at it. When it comes to election proper, a good number of the electorates do not know what you mean when you say vote for PDP in governorship, in House of Assembly, House of Rep, and Senate position, and perhaps in the presidency, vote for APC. I don't think it will work because Don't forget that the general election, the same day they are doing the presidential election, the same day they are doing the senatorial and House of Rep election. And as electorates who are eligible to vote, as they are giving you the ballot paper for the presidency, they are equally giving the ballot paper for House of Rep and Senate. So for those people who are not well educated, who form good number of the electorates in these areas, how do they differentiate between the ballot paper that will be for presidency and the ballot paper that will be for APC? Don't forget that before now, Rivers State is known to be PDP state. Not just Rivers State, most of the Southern states. And they are already used to voting umbrella. So how do you now start educating them that when you are given 3 ballot papers, one for rep, one for senate, one for presidency, that for that of presidency, vote for blue, for the rep and senate, vote for umbrella. So it's going to be extremely difficult for them to differentiate. But for the ones who are educated, it may not be a Herculean task. But I see it that it's going to be extremely difficult for a Wike to defer to APC.
Okay, fuel scarcity hike in the transport fare dampen this festivity.
This issue of fuel hike, we have been it has been on for some time now, and we have understand that the government is the major reason we are seeing this issue not ending, because the government has refused to do the needful. The needful is simple. If you claim that the PMS are being loaded from the depots, from the tank farms, are more than what we are supposed to consume that is going to our neighboring countries, we have all the security agencies at the border who ought to do the needful by stopping the tankers from getting the PMS across to our neighboring countries. I quite agree with the people who say most of the PMS are getting out of the country. There's no argument about that. But the government have a responsibility to ensure that they stop these people who are moving out of the country. Then again, we have said it here repeatedly that if federal government have used the money that is meant for the turnaround of the refineries in a proper way, we will not be talking about importing a refined product by now. A situation where SENAP is in call with federal government as we speak, that over about 148 trillion, sorry, 1.48 trillion that is supposed to be meant to turn around refinery maintenance of our refineries since 2015 to date. If that money is used the way it's supposed to be used, I don't think by now we should be talking about importing PMS. If for any reason we are talking of importing PMS, we will not be importing everything we are consuming. But the way it stands, we are importing every bit of what we need to consume in terms of PMS. So I think the federal government is the major reason we find ourselves in this place.
Okay, an imam says that Allah doesn't accept Salah ram bought with stolen money.
I don't know anything about Islam. I'm not a Muslim. I don't know anything that is written in the Quran. I'm a Christian, so I cannot speak on that.
At least as a child of God, let's talk about.
As a child of God, I can only say what God says. I don't know what Allah says. I only know what God says. I don't know what Allah says.
Okay, let's look at insecurity with the Salah celebration. Let's look at the side of the north. What will you say about insecurity in that area? How would they celebrate their festivities?
Okay, if you isolate the north, the president and the government collectively have failed. And when we talk about failure, it's a collective failure. All the 3 chairs of government have collectively failed. Both the local government, the state government, and federal government, they are all failed. Because you see, they share this security power and principle. Because the governor goes by the name of governor and chief security officer of the state. So by implication, if you see failure of security in the state, the governor is the one failing. But the reason we point accusing finger at the federal government is that federal government has refused to devote some level of power to the states. Because if somebody is answering the governor and chief security officer of the state, you should allow that person to parade some level of security power. But the situation where the federal government, through the edge of police, have repeatedly and vehemently refused to allow the governors parade some level of security power, I think It is the reason
You are
we are
canvassing for state police.
obviously it's the way to go. State police is the way to go. Whether we like it or not, until you go by the word of state police, you cannot address the issue of Nigerian security problem. Because all crime is local. If you have a crime, the type of crime that is endemic in Delta State is different with the type of crime that is common in Lagos State. The one that is predominant in Lagos State is different from the type you see in Kano State. It's different from what you see in Enugu State or Jigawa, as the case may be. So all crime is local, and if you must deal with it, you must institutionalize the traditional institutions into the security architecture. Because whether we like it or not, until you go by state police, not just go by state police, allow them to bear the category of arm that is capable of engaging the bandits, the criminals, the kidnappers, Bokoharam, Iswap, name it. Look at what transpired at Kuje prison the other day. If you look at the information that came from the press statement that came from the Minister of Police Affairs, he said that the people who were supposed to be managing that facility were overpowered. So if bandits, if Iswap members who have sophisticated weapons, more than what Nigerian police, army, GSM, name it, can have, collectively can have, it tells you that if you are having state police, that they need to be empowered to have sophisticated weapons.
That's what the papers are saying. The federal government says that the Boko Haram terrorists, their weapons are more sophisticated than the Nigerian.
I don't think that should be an excuse. But to answer your question directly about the security situation in the north, this celebration, I think I pity the fellow Nigerians who are northerners, because it's unlike Lagos where you have some level of relative peace. From the information and news we see from the north, it's a very terrible situation. And not, for to be quite honest with you, it's not a place to stay for now. Because especially where people sleep with their eyes open. You cannot tell me that a place like Southern Kaduna that is known for violence activities, especially from herdsmen, you cannot tell me that people will be happy going about celebrating this Salah celebration, because most of them, they are wary of how you go about in the public, how you move about in the public, how you stay in public space. So it's a very terrible situation for people in the north. I must tell you that.
We heard that some of the captured communities, the ISWAP, the terrorists are organizing prayer, their eighth prayer procession in those areas.
You mean ISWAP?
Captured communities. Yeah.
I don't have that.
The terrorists are, according to Daily Trust, that's the report from.
So by implication, what I say that currently as we speak, there are some areas in Nigeria where ISWAP is.
Terror group plans aid prayer in captured communities and enclaves.
But what we can understand before now is that they are hibernating in the forests. But whether they already have a regular society where they have had maybe hoist their flag and have taken sovereignty of is yet to be understood. But before now, in the time past, there are instances where Boko Haram had sway in places like Goza and in some places in Borno State. But I don't know, I've not been able to verify whether, as we speak, whether ISWAP is holding some areas in Nigeria, some territories, whether they already have their sovereignty in some areas. But that would be too bad if they already have that. But I don't have the figure, I don't have the information.
Okay, Nigeria, lastly, Nigeria, a bundle of contradictions, says Buhari, as Muslims celebrate.
A bundle of
contradiction, diverse people.
You come again.
A bundle of contradictions.
What type of contradiction? You
have people with different ideology, people with different, you have non-state actors, you have those that are for Nigeria, those that are not for Nigeria.
Before now, we have been saying it. Because in any civilized society, in any nation, in any sovereign state, the government should have the ability to have monopoly of coercive power. But unfortunately, in Nigeria is already sharing that monopoly power with non-state actors. What I mean monopoly power, I mean monopoly of coercive power. At least the police, the army, the navy, the DSS, the Air Force, put together to have monopoly of coercive power over Nigerian sovereignty. But unfortunately, Nigerian government is sharing it with non-state actors like ISWAP, Boko Haram, bandits, kidnappers. In fact, armed robbery is no longer invoked now. Kidnappers. Maybe kidnapping have replaced armed robbery. But what I'm trying to say in essence is, it's no longer a news that the government have failed woefully in terms of protection of life and property. Because the constitution is very fundamental, very certain about it. It's unambiguous about it. That the security of Nigerians and their welfare shall be the primary purpose of governance. And the government has woefully failed in this cardinal area. I don't know what Mr. President will do better than what he has done, because he has spent a better part of his administration. His better part of the administration have been spent. For somebody who have 8 years to rule or to govern, as we speak, he has spent more than 7 years.
He said before he leaves power, he's going to make sure Nigerians are okay.
Maybe that will be a story for Taste by
He said so.
I said maybe that would be a very good story for Nollywood. I don't think that will be in reality. Because what do you want Mr. President to do now? He has done his best, and his best is not good enough. He has spent a better part of his administration. For me, we can only pray to God to lead us and guide us in the rest part of Mr. Buhari's administration. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing new or strange that Mr. President can offer. He has done his best. His best is not good enough. You can only pray for the incoming president to have good ideas to drive Nigeria out of this president.
Not this current president.
I say he has failed. His best is not good enough. What do you want him to do? What other strategy do you want him to adopt? He have done okay now. Before they brought in, they acquired the 12 Tucano jets. We thought it's going to be the game changer. They made us understand that once they have the 12 Tucano jets, once they deploy to all the theaters of operation, we are going to see renewed hostility against the bandits, against the terrorists, ISWAP, Bokoharam, name it. But is that the case today? And as we speak, they are telling us that there's another deal where they will be spending another $1 billion to buy us an ammunition, another category of fighter jets. So I don't think Buhari have the solution to the Nigerian problem.
Okay, on a lighter note, Malami got married to the daughter of the president, and in a holy matrimony.
I think going by Islamic law and rules, he have not committed any crime, and he have married the woman officially. Even as we learned that the woman was married to another person, and she already have about 6 children for the person. But I don't think it's an issue, because it's
on a lighter mode. On a lighter mode. It's on a lighter mode, not.
Why I may not speak much about it, because they are doing it within the ambit of what Islam allows them to do. But if I'm to speak as a Christian, it will be a different ballgame. And I don't think I'm permitted to speak as a Christian, because the man who is giving the daughter out of marriage is a Muslim. The girl in question is a Muslim. It's a question of right. It's a question of belief. As a Christian, I don't think I will encourage anyone to go into that. But since the lady who has just gotten married is a Muslim, the father who is the president is a Muslim, Malami who is the attorney general of the federation is a Muslim, I don't think it's up to me to start maybe casting a passion or criticizing what they have done. But as a Christian, I don't think I will do that.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Matthew. Analysis. Yes, we'll be right back in a few minutes' time. I just enjoy the scenery. Enjoy the scenery. We'll be right back in a few minutes' time. Thank you very much. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes now. I'm already not with my body. Hey, So you can come down here. Boss. I have my brother. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chigozi.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. This friend has reconfigured the system.
Today is Salah and it's just raining. I don't think that the Salah celebration will be that in celebrating.
Well, I'm not in a position to say that
Okay.
because that is left for the Muslim festivals, and I don't think there's anything wrong with the rain, and the rain has been there all the way, and it's a blessing anyway from God, from nature. So we are happy to have the rain
Okay,
here.
let's start with the federal government says that the terrorists, the weapons they wield is more sophisticated than that of the federal army.
So the federal government said that. Who are they talking to? Is it Chigozendigo?
No, they noticed. They noticed it.
I think they noticed it, and it's not the first time they are noticing it. The last man who complained about that, I think, was a Yoruba major or so.
Yeah.
I don't know where the man, whether they have schemed him or not, or what. I've not been hearing from that man, or he has been court-martialed. So these are people who spoke the truth to the authorities, but they couldn't pay attention to that. That the Boko Haram are more sophisticated than the Nigerian army, and you have to court-martial him. And what are you saying now? Who should court-martial you? Is this not an embarrassment to the states, telling us that within your own territory that people have just a non-state actors came and messed up everything? If you have no, of course, you're not complicit to that. What are you telling us? Is that a news? Is that a statement? Rather than closing your face in shame, you are telling us that they are more equipped than your own soldiers.
I think
Abuja being the target for that matter. Isn't that an insult? It's a national embarrassment. That's why we have people who should not be within the corridor of power, messing up the entire future and destiny of the entire over 200 million. What can you tell me that they are more sophisticated, more equipped, they have more logistics than your own supposed? Is it not an indictment on this government? What have you been doing with the billions of dollars that have been set aside to to reinforce and get the latest armories, or we are then diverted to the east, where my brothers and sisters are being killed and molested, and you left nothing, of course, within Abuja to confront the monster you have created yourself. You see, insurgency is as a result of poverty and illiteracy. Because if people are educated to understand that they could be productive, they could, of course, contribute to the well-being of the society, rather than being destructive and constituting nuisance, they wouldn't have indulged in such acts, barbaric acts.
Okay.
So who is to be blamed? The government is to blame for failing, of course, in its primary responsibility of protecting the supposed life and property of the citizens under the, of course, under psychophancy.
Okay, let's look
the
at
psychophancy.
let's look at is Nigeria better today compared 2015 and now?
Nigeria can never be better. It has never been better. That is the reality. I'm not just passing about it, but that is the reality. Nigeria is not designed to be better. Based on, of course, the people within the corridor of power, do you expect anything different? You see, if you have an intention of building a house, you must get to understand the structure and what the reinforcement you have to apply to make sure that the house stands. The Bible said that a house that is built on the sand cannot stand. It's just a matter of time. It's just a disaster waiting for time to happen. So you don't, under this current template on how Nigeria is designed, is never designed to be progressive. You see, it keeps on retrogressing, and that is the main reason why we are here today.
Okay.
It's very unfortunate. So, and I don't think anything could be done to remedy the situation. Yes, I've listened to Peter B and his running mates,
Baba Ahmed.
Baba Ahmed. I think these people are technocrats. They are lovers of, they have zero tolerance to corruption. But with the system, allow them in. With the system, give them opportunity. People who have bought delegates with billions of dollars, and you think they would just leave it for the chances? They are ready to spend their entire destiny, their entire destiny. They have spent their entire destiny. They are not spending the entire destinies of over 200 million. So they will do anything humanly possible to perpetrate themselves against, of course, within the power, against the will of the people. But I think at this time, the youths are not taking this lightly or to chances. But I hope that those who are taking burgers over there and taking coffees over here, yeah, you can't afford that. There is no average. People can't afford coffee here. So you don't stay over there and tell us that you are one Nigeria, that one Nigeria not divisible. You have to come down here and join us in this fight, not just being there and telling us to go and die for what? Nigeria does not want dying for it, and it will just die a natural death. It's just a matter of time. With these things going on, Nigeria is, of course, designed to die a natural death.
Let's look at
people, of course, are fed up with the system, and it's not a surprise.
Let's look at Wike. Some APC governors went to.
Is it material? These are people who have brought humanity to its lowest end. So flying from Lagos to go and meet Wike is immaterial. What have you done to Lagos? Should Wike go to vote, he only has one vote to offer. Except there's other, of course, magic or abracadabra they expect him to do. You should speak to the electorate who has the mandate.
Yeah.
If you have done anything, of course, you think that that deserve, of course, the next tenor, you shouldn't be calling for Wike. You have the over 200 million people, of course, to sell your ideology and to tell them what your party has been able to do in the past 7 years. How you have been able to kill people, to destroy people's destiny, to destroy people's future. And you still want them to retain power, you still want them to trust you with the next 4 years, the next 5, 8 years of their destiny, which unfortunately we may not have anything left. before the completion of the 8 years. So it is immaterial, it is just stupidity, it is lack of understanding, it is an expression of failure. Because you cannot be going to, running after an individual while you have the masses to sell your ideas to. If you really have an idea, you have something to offer to humanity, to the public. Why not come out and tell us all this while we have been waiting for APC manifesto? We've been waiting for PDP manifesto. We need constructive dialogue, engagement. See, deductive reasoning, let them be subjected to open debates. Tell us what you want to do with the destiny of Nigerians. If should that be entrusted to you, of course, in the next 4 years. But telling me you are going to meet to weekend one place, they take you go and they telling me this. These are ganja men. We don't need people who make noise. Of course, humanity needs people at this time. I wish Peter B and Ahmed will, of course, Ahmed will march as the Governor General of the Northern Hemisphere. What Peter B should manage the Eastern region. And of course, the Western region should take, to call for whoever that will manage them. If they can resurrect Awolowo, I know that Awolowo has better intention for the people, but unfortunately was not given the opportunity. But as far as I'm concerned, I have not seen any person that can step into the shoe of Awolowo. I stand to be corrected. Though he may have his lapses, but that notwithstanding, I know he brought, of course, the prosperity to the Western people, which, of course, most of the professors today wouldn't have the opportunity to bag such a degree, or even, of course, see the 4 words of education, if not for the free education. But it was not sustainable. So that is the problem. We need a system to create a system that should be sustainable. But unfortunately, that cannot happen under this current configuration. That's why of course, an enlightened mind as we are calling for the dissolution of this country. You can see waterlogs everywhere. The drainage system is zero, is in shambles. Nothing is working. Then you can now ask, what is the government of Lagos doing with over how many trillion of the annual budgets budgeted for Lagos, considering the revenue generation? What are they doing? They cannot fix ordinary roads. They cannot construct ordinary drainage for water to have a free pass. And you're telling me that these people can be trusted with your destiny, but I don't know whether you are, as an average journalist, I don't know if you have been bought over, and that is the situation. But the reality is,
despite the fact that there's the hike in fuel prices, in the price of food stores, Nigerians are still celebrating the.
What do you have to celebrate? Common increase in the loaf of bread, in the price of bread, in the price of basic commodities. In Kenya, everywhere was agog. They took to the streets. They threatened the disruption of the imminent election. And here we have more than 100 times experienced what Kenya have not experienced. And yet we are calm, and not that we are calm, but we have been stretched to that breaking point. And that is why the youth are calling up, and every concern. Unfortunately, those who have enjoyed, who are close beneficiaries of this system, will not want us to speak. They want us to be crucified, because they see it as a threat to their perpetuity in such a cruel system.
Yes. Okay. Lastly,
see, this government broken. If not that, I paid a lot sacrifice to.
No, we have been in the rain for like 2 hours now.
Not just 2 hours. And when I talk now, you see, if you are Oga, you should do like Oga. You cannot keep me under the rain, under the sun, and expect me not to talk.
Don't worry.
You can't muzzle my mouth.
We'll drink tea. We'll drink tea.
You drink tea under this rain. Do have a great day.
Thank you very much. That's Mr. Chigozie. We'll wait for another 2 or 3 minutes. Just enjoy the scenery. so that we come back with another analysis. Thank you very much for staying tuned.
What is the name?
Uh,
What is that? Chineke no. No, just yeah.
One minute. Okay, I have somebody here. Good morning. Good morning, my brother. Just leave the water. Just time. Now, time. How do you look at the celebrations this morning?
Yeah, my name is Dixon John, and I just feel today is a celebration for my Muslim brother because I'm a Christian. So I think it's just a way to celebrate life. Being a Christian or Muslim doesn't mean we should not celebrate a Muslim festival or celebration. So it's just a season of celebration, and being alive is what to be celebrated. So that's what I just feel about it.
Let's look at what is happening in Nigeria today. Are you satisfied with what is happening in the country today?
No. No one is satisfied about what's going on in the country because we have a lot of insecurity, bad road, and no good training. You can just take a look at the road now. We have a lot of place for the water. So I'm not really happy about it. But I'm very sure Lagos State government is trying their best, but they should put more effort on it. They should put more effort. We need people that are young and who know what they're doing. We don't really need much years of experience. We just need
the old people and people that have been there for a longer time. We need young people that are vibrant, they are creative.
Yeah, we need young people that are vibrant and creative because there are so many old people that are doing well and we know them. And there are so many young people that are doing bad. So it's just a matter of getting the age right and knowing what to do at the right time.
Okay, looking at we have the presidential candidates. I don't know where you stand. Who are you voting for 2023?
Actually, I don't have a PVC card because it's very difficult to get. I just get annoyed when I check Facebook, Instagram, and I see a lot of people saying they want to vote some. 90% of them doesn't have a PVC. So why are you going to say you want to vote for this person or you want to vote for this person when you don't have a PVC? So I think our southwest politicians and leaders should just get us a way to have a PVC easily. Once we have it easily, we know who to vote for.
Are you affected by the fuel scarcity and also the hike in the prices of foodstuffs?
No, not much because no more because we have a current here in Ogba. Our life is coming on where these days. So we just have issue with our life power last month. So everything is going well now.
What do you wish for Nigeria?
I wish a better future for Nigeria because this next election is going to determine our future for the next 8 years. And being 18-20 now, I think next 8 years I'll be about 28 and I don't know much about life. So I think this next election will be the future of Nigeria. So we should get our time to vote for who is right. And not just voting because of money. Money can't buy happiness and a lot of things money can do. You just have to vote for the right person and we have a limited time on earth here. So just make this earth a better place for us to live. And let's create a better future for our people and our citizens.
Okay, if you have your PVC, if you have the opportunity to get your PVC, who will you vote for?
You know, we are alive now, so I'm not going to say I'm going to vote for this person, I'm going to vote for this person, but I'm just advising you to vote for anyone you know
So you have
is
not made
right.
up your mind yet.
Mm, actually, I'm not just saying it. I'm because I'm not voting this next election. I don't have PVC. I don't know anything about how to get a PVC.
Yeah, you go to your Lagos state, your local government.
Yeah. I went to the local government, but everywhere is so jammed by it, and people are not even making it easy for us to get it. So I'm just realizing that why is this thing so hard to get? You know, it's crazy. I don't want to just say anything about politics and all because we live in a world where you say a truth and they'll just come after your life. So I'm not really afraid of nobody now because I'm not afraid of nobody, but I'm going to say the truth.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Your name once again.
My name is Dixon John from Lagos.
Okay, thank you very much, Dixon. Thank you. Yeah. Barakadi. Barakadi.
No, I don't know.
Barakadi Salah.
Sorry, yeah, my bad.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
Thank
thank you. Yeah. Please enjoy the scenery. We're going to get more people talking on Bike Salah this morning. Thank you very much. When I take this. Barakadi Salah. Hello, sir. Yes, yeah, this is still bystanders at the newsstands. I'm Christian Chico today. It's a day of celebration of the Muslims, Baraka the Salah. Yes, as much as we can, let's get responses from you. What do you think on the comment, the report by the federal government saying that the terrorists have more sophisticated weapons than the Nigerian army? Let's get your responses so that we can read it out this morning. I have Mr. Kayode Egbo, Mr. Funigas, Andrew Gujimi, Star Daniel, Mr. Harry, Matt Frey, Wisdom, Olaide Ajayi, Chuks, Joan Arellano, Olaide Ajayi, yes, Toim Akaba. Let's get your responses. We're waiting for your comments and responses. Owing to the Kuje attack, the federal government has said some of the terrorists that they wield weapons that are more sophisticated than that of the Nigerian army. Let's get your response. One or two responses before we end the program this morning. I'm waiting. Bumi Moshud, Baraka de Salah, yes, from Sweden. Bumi Moshud, Baraka de Salah from Sweden. Mr. Harry says that Buhari and the military has failed us. End of story. From Harry, Buhari and the military has failed us. That is what they had to say. End of story. Yeah, Funny guys is saying that I cannot contribute to this topic. Yes. Yes, breaking news this morning. One of the wanted terror suspects that escaped from the Kuje prison. One of the wanted terror suspects that escaped from Kuje prison has been arrested in Nasarawa State. The police command in Nasarawa State has arrested one of the terror suspects who escaped from Kuje prison on Tuesday. The suspect, Hassan was one of those whose name and picture were released by the Nigerian Correctional Service on Friday. Yes, one of the terror suspects, the terror Bokoharam suspects have been apprehended by the Nasarawa State Police Command. His name is Hassan. We have others that are still at large. On Buhari felicitating with Muslims, he says that I won't rest until I bring relief to Nigerians. Buhari, I won't rest until I bring relief to Nigerians. The report, the President Muhammad Buhari has felicitated Muslims on the Eid al-Kabir celebrations in the country, saying his administration will not rest until it brings relief to Nigerians. In his Salah message issued by presidential spokesman Garba Shehu, Buhari said efforts are ongoing to find solutions to the hardship faced by Nigerians. The president also reiterated his government's commitment in improving the security situation, where bandits and terrorists have continued to wreak havoc in several parts of the nation. I won't rest until I bring relief to Nigerians. I am quite aware of the difficulties people are facing, and I'm working to resolve them, Buhari was quoted as saying. In congratulating the Muslim faithful on the celebration, he called on all Nigerians to be good representatives of their religious beliefs. According to the president, religion shouldn't just be used as a mere badge of identity, but as a motivator for doing good for the overall good of the country and humanity. He added, if we are putting the teachings of our religions into practice, most of the evils afflicting our society would have been solved. The exploitation of the people by traders and the stealing of public funds by civil servants and other office holders of public trust is a reflection of the abandonment of the teaching of our religions. President Buhari also urged all Muslims to reflect on the significance of the sacrifice epitomized by Eid. He equally wants the citizens to show love and care to their neighbors and others while celebrating this spiritually important event. Yes, that's from the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Muhammad Buhari. Star Daniel is saying that Buhari and his cronies are responsible for insecurity in Nigeria. Otherwise, why would the government send soldiers to Southeast, and same government can't deal with insecurity in Abuja? Nina Dims, I won't rest until I bring relief to Nigeria. Really? That man, Buhari. So in 7 years on seat, he's suddenly going to perform magic with the months left. Yes. Let's look at some of the reports we have. We are still on with the reports. What is your take on that statement? I will not rest until I make Nigerians better. I cannot. Okay, all right. Yes, thank you very much for being part of the program this morning. As many that have watched us, I will say a big thank you for your patience and also for your commitment to the program by Standards at the Newsstands. I would say we are going to end the program for now, but I'll be here on Monday for another edition of the program by Standards at the Newsstands. We are committed to giving you live reports from the streets. I am Christian Chiku. Bye for now. Thank you.